So this would be batch 32, 33. Not valid. So okay, let me give my email address. So we are building this for McDonald's, right? McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give the company name as McDonald's here, and let's say state is anyway it's United States, I know, but I'm gonna give India because I don't know the postal code. So my postal code I'll give here. Mm. So what should be this org name? So admin at um, mcd.com, right? mcd.com
Okay.
and McDonald's. I'm just gonna give it. So our website is prefixed with our email is prefixed with mcd.com. I think I have to check my email to verify this. So Jamsil, you have created the org for yourself?
Yes, I did that today.
Okay.
That email takes forever to come for the verification.
Yeah. So in meanwhile, yesterday we were just checking about the restaurant app. So that is here. So what we see here as a restaurant, I would have an account object so that I would rename it. So let's plot all this into a story type. Yes. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Just put it. Okay. I don't know. So batch 33, and we are the admin. I'll send all these notes to you guys to the drive. I will upload, and then you can check through this. Um, our admin. I don't know where did I leave
Okay.
that notes. We were just talking about. Yeah, this is the one, right? McDonald's. Yeah,
Yeah.
batch 33 this should go there. So this is batch 33. Admin course is going on. Yeah. So the requirement is to build an app, which ER diagram we have seen through, and the restaurant app we are trying to build. And just in case the company or consultant guys who's going to build an application for McDonald's, and we know that the system admin who will be the top level from the org, we know it. And let's say ideally how it happens, so if you think that let me check this, what happened, clear it open. So let's say who would be signing up here. So we went to developer.salesforce.com and then we did a sign up, right? The same way, McDonald's admin would go. Basically, they would have a treaty with Salesforce to connect that. Hey, we wanted to buy an enterprise edition, and I wish to buy an enterprise edition. So, what is the procedure? From a McDonald's admin, someone who's there, they would ask for it. So maybe a CTO, Chief Technology Officers, on his name would be registered. And firstly, Salesforce would verify, yeah, they are a proper company, and yeah, they can use the system. And Salesforce also recommends to those guys, do you guys require any consultant so that we can provide to you? I know that you have an idea to build some application, but do you have necessary support? So you are buying out a outlet or whatever. To the outlet, what supply you want? Do we want to provide a supply to you? Just their question. And we say that, hey, you only outlet you give it, so I know what are the items I should bring it. So that confidence you have your own consultants to play with this. Getting? So two things they provide you. One is they will ask you to get a support their recommendations to you, or that you're gonna say that I want to build on my own, and just please provide the what is it, developer access or whatever the org settings you can give it. So that's how. So like how I did a register for an admin, so that will be a CTO, whoever it is. So on his name it will be registered. Now from there, it is a production arc. The moment we create an any arc, it is a production arc. Salesforce just they give it to you, right? So that is called as a production arc, where you can log in with login.salesforce.com. From that particular arc, you guys would create, if it is an a paid version, let's say enterprise or an unlimited edition. So you guys create a sandboxes from that particular arc. The very first arc which we created, it is a production arc. From there only we can create a sandboxes. The sandbox namely as developer sandbox and developer pro sandbox. These are the type of sandbox I'm saying. And partial copy sandbox, full copy sandbox. These are the four variants we have. So what is this four variants talks about is the capacity. What should we do with it? Let's say developer and developer pro. It is slightly changes we have. Developer sandboxes. It's ideally like how the argument is the same. It will be. There's no any difference or change in it. What you can do maximum is you can whatever the concepts you have developed, it can move from one hour to another hour. This is the ideal state, and you have flexibility. What production is given, the same developer and access you have it. But the thing is, we don't have a more number of memories being given to developer sandboxes. It's just for a development purpose. We don't have a much data to be put in there. We can have a GB of information in developer sandboxes. Now, SIT could be SIT is the next arc, which I would try to get another sandbox. Maybe a type I could choose developer pro or maybe developer same again. No issues with that. So again, testing sandbox is you don't write any code there, but whatever you did a development in the developer sandbox, all the code that has been migrated to or pushed to the next sandbox, which I'm saying is SIT. Getting? And you have a bunch of code there which is deployed. Now testers will all do a testing under the SIT boxes. So SIT org, which you say, or box, whatever you can call it as. Now he does a testing there where he set up data as output there. He would do testing. It could be a developer pro or a developer sandbox. It is going to have. Now from SIT, when you wanted to move to the next org, which I say UAT or whatever the name we can call. So generally people tell it as UAT, user acceptance testing. What we do is here we try to create a full copy sandbox. If your production version is the next version, if you wanted to have, so full copy sandbox should be created. So what do you mean by full copy? It's an exact copy of your production. Is getting exact copy of your production. So that is what we call it as full copy sandbox. Okay. So why we're selling that is full copy sandbox. Oh, here we go. Let me verify this. Full copy sandbox is just like a full copy of your production, be it from data, be it from the configurations, each and everything. Because something goes wrong in your production, you have to see or check in the UAT. That's the reason people keep this full copy. But the very bad part is like you can refresh all the production contains to your full copy sandbox once in a month. That is 29 days it takes. Only 29 days once it is allowed to refresh your production or to the full copy sandbox.
So what does that mean? I didn't get that part.
So I told you from the production only all the branches we created. The
Right.
now when I say while creating a branches also, what I'm trying to say is ideally don't assume that branch is different. So kind of a sandbox I'm saying where you can do a development thing. Now when you have a up to 50 you can create in an unlimited edition. It depends on the enterprise. You can create 5 or 10 based on the license which we have taken. But for an unlimited edition, the maximum you can have 50 sandboxes, including the full copy, partial copy, everything. Okay.
Okay.
So if really required 50 sandboxes, maybe they're running a different applications people are running through. Five sandbox, let's say they're doing with a restaurant application. Five sandbox, they're dealing with some other application management development. Because every thing what you do, they should have their own development SIT UAT. Only then they can all tie up to production. Getting if they have this many of applications running through, then yes, of course, maybe use so many sandboxes. So many developing team would be involved into it for a particular hour. Now, when I say it about full copy sandbox, what I mean is, yes, you need to have your production exact production copy, the other version where you can directly test something onto the production version. Ideally, what we do is we do a test on the UAT box. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say is full copy sandbox will always have the exact copy of production, but to refresh, see from let's say from 4 or 5 places, different UAT boxes are pointing to production. They have deployed it. Getting, but whatever there in the production to get to the next level, that is what I'm saying is the another copy which I'm saying is full copy. Whatever the latest data or a configuration change or some code has been deployed will not always have to a full copy. So what are the recent things been deployed? You wanted to refresh to a full copy. So it takes not it takes once in 29 days only you can refresh the data or components or whatever from the production R.
Okay.
Unless other orgs are fine, go ahead, do a refresh, it will be refreshed. But a full copy is something that it's not so easy because it is trying to refresh the entire production data to a full copy. Not only data, metadata, like configuration stuff, components, whatnot, everything it will be taking a exact copy of production. So if you see a full copy size, what it can be, it is just matching with production. So if
So if
production is
it's a
100 G,
full copy, is it like a staging environment?
where you have all the components, yes, it is like staging. It will have the all components present in it.
Okay.
So it is just the combination of all what you have in one place. Um, Actually, production is that one, So which is our so far whatever the releases we made, it is all to production. Now that is
Right.
having a bunch of all the products informations we have. Let's say a restaurant app, a complete model about the restaurant app is present in production. Now let's say someone is trying to build extra additional stuff, and then directly they are pushing it to okay goes to SIT UAT and then goes to production. Sometimes people may have treat that UAT itself as like a full copy sandbox, or they don't play with that UAT, so they keep a separate sandbox named as a full copy sandbox. Getting
Okay.
so from UAT it went to production, and to do a testing, at least for a particular company, may do it at UAT. But something went wrong in the production, so they can't check at UAT. If even the checking at UAT, they can't reproduce it. Now they're checking at let's say we'll check at a full copy sandbox. Full copy same sandbox, you can name it as whatever. It is a type
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, and you can name it
Right.
as whatever. You can say copy of prod or a full copy. This the name is itself is fine. Full copy itself is fine. So if
Okay.
something they say, go check in full copy because it is the copy of production. If it's the same thing that is you found are reproducible there, then it's an issue. Go then we all the way check in UAT. If something there is not reproducible, then we have to see why it has been occurring, and they have to do a lot of unit tests there.
Okay.
So why I'm saying about this unit test and other sandbox stuff is because now right away I'm creating a org. Look at this. Right away I'm trying to create an org. So with that time only will guys get to know what I'm trying to speak about. So now let's say a CTO of a McDonald's who's been trying to register for a org is just basically a production org. From there only the chains you can create, like sandboxes you can create. And why the sandboxes? For development purpose we have that, and for testing and for other stuff we have it. Unless like a developer or developer edition, directly you are playing with production, you think. But additionally you're trying to modify stuff. But in actual production environment, you cannot change a code, you cannot change the apex, you can't change any of the programming stuff. It is read only there. So that's the reason we have a, we create a sandbox, we create, we develop some there, and we again I will migrate back to the production. Is getting, you can't write a program, or you can't edit a record in the production environment. It's just for the read only purpose, because someone cannot go change their production environment, modify the code, and then do delete something. So this will harm the system. So that's the reason we have a kind of child branches like the other sandboxes to deal with us.
And one other question I had is, you said every org will have its own sandboxes. So I'm just
Every
trying
org,
to,
every org, what is that?
yeah, I'm just trying to understand how it works, because
Go ahead, go ahead.
what I understand is like sandbox is kind of an infrastructure or the different environment where you want to test your code, right?
Yeah.
So
Now
a
let's assume.
infra,
Now let's assume this is the one. Um, the entire developer org which I got. Assume this is a sandbox.
mm-hmm.
So if I say one more sandbox, the same copy of this would be one more type of a sandbox. Maybe here I'm saying dev, there would be saying QA, and there would be saying UAT. And if you don't have this, then it's prod. So assume like that. But it is whole bunch of your org has been created like that. You think? Sorry, whole
Okay.
bunch of whatever you see here, it has been created as an org.
Okay.
It's just replicate of your production environment. It's just replicate of your production environment. As what you're seeing here is been created as a sandbox. But at the very
Um,
beginning stage, your production will not have anything. So the created one, which I'm calling a sandbox, there you start developing it, and then you're pushing back to the production. So the production has the latest one.
I think I understand that, but my where I was going is like, you are saying like every org is having its own sandbox. So what I'm trying to gauge is, how is that possible? Because what I understand is sandbox is like an infrastructure of different environments you have, like staging, UAT, production, like. So there can be multiple application running in this stage, in this environment or in this infrastructure, right? But here you're saying an org will have its own sandbox. So
No, 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 no.
there,
What you said is correct. An R which I'm
okay,
saying is, let's say how you call it as staging, how you call it as UAT,
okay,
how you call it
but
as UAT. It is something somewhere you have firstly built something, and then the same copy you are trying to create a one more, and then you're naming it as SIT or staging.
yes,
And again the
yes, yes,
same, the whole bunch copy you create, and then you call it as UAT.
okay,
Correct. So now what I'm trying to say is, in Salesforce the same it works, but what I'm trying to say is I need to create a clone copy of this production. Right.
right,
Only then I can get the whole bunch as a new one. So then I name that
right,
as a developer sandbox. Again,
uh,
in each and every sandboxes, we have to get cloned from the production only.
yeah,
Getting? It is not the org will have another sub org. No, no, not like that. So this is a whole bunch. I have a like org which I'm talking, and I have to clone this to name it as a dev. Again, I have to clone a production to name it as a let's say SIT. So while cloning, so they are asking a question: what type of this sandbox you would like to, like a basic developer, or a full copy, or a partial copy? So this question they ask you,
okay,
because based on that you have a limitation. When I say full copy, okay, great. I have the whole bunch of a production. What I have, the same it has been replicated to me. Now I say that give me a partial copy. Okay, not the all data I would do, because I have a limitation of 5 GB. If your org is having 100 GB, I don't care. Only 5 GB I'll migrate to you of data and other stuff. Getting? But you'll have all the components, but I don't have data for that much. But I can give you 5 GB of data. That's the max. So that is called as partial copy. But advantage of partial copy is you guys can have at least 5 days, no, sorry, in a week once you can refresh the from a production org.
okay, okay,
Getting? So now whatever you said is, yes, it's right. The same way it works. But who is the master? Production is my master. From
Right.
there, I'm keep cloning it to have a multiple sandboxes. And again, after this, all the development, what I do is I have to merge it, right? Like if you say in any other Git environment you work, we have to, where we created from a master, we have to merge back after the development is done. The same
Right.
way, the sandboxes, everything is where you try to create and have to push back again back to production. So that is what we do our deployments from a developer, let's say sandbox to UAT, UAT to, and again coming back to production. This is basically kind of a merging idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sandeep, you had a question?
Right. I was just asking if it is possible for you to show your work environment so that it would be easy for us to see. I mean, you
So
said,
I won't record it, but I will show it. So those are, if this tomorrow, if I want to put in YouTube, it'll be crazy. So
yeah,
those
I
are
know.
clients. Those are clients. I will show you, no problem. But just understand the point which I'm trying to say. This is like an argue thing from where you try to create it. But I don't have an access to production. This is very crazy. They wouldn't give you. I can show you. See, there's no difference at all you find in from the developer edition to a sandboxes, whatever it is. It's just a
This is
clone copy of this org. It's just the
right.
clone
This is
copy of
like
this org.
you find the difference in the URL itself, right? That's it.
Yeah. So let's say this is dev.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
but you log in this with the production environment as login.salesforce, but whereas a sandbox you would log in as test.salesforce.com.
got it.
This is the one. So the moment I give a test, so all the production or maybe a client related stuff, all I will have an org like this. Because this is login directly for sandboxes. Till you were till full copy, whatever it is all test only. Test.salesforce.com. And the production environment is we do with login.salesforce.com. So now admin at sysintel.com. This is another hub which I created. Now today we're working with admin at mcd.com. Is just again a developer edition org. So we have to log in via through this. Getting when it says the developer editions, we have limited here only. We are not allowing you to create another sandbox and play with. But if you paid version, we say it as an unlimited edition and we allow you to go create a sandboxes. So that's the only difference we see from a developer environment edition to an ultimate or a different editions, paid editions. You got the points?
Yeah, I think we are good here.
Okay. What about Jamsil to you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
I think this is the typical environments where we try to build some applications, right? I think we should be okay. The other ways, running out of time in 10 minutes. Guys, don't mind. You have to rejoin again. So this is the one. Okay. Altogether, I know that. So there's a new org is ready for us. So earlier, what happened is these guys was telling me which particular instances you belong to. Let's say AP or Europe or maybe American region. All this they were showing it, but now they had named it itself the company name as the URL. I said the McDonald's. It just figured out my the unique name and then put into the server. Sorry, URL. Basically, it is trying to create a domain for me. So that is all done. So now, so what I was expecting is, according to this diagram, if I see, so I don't see any accounts or customers or contacts, something I don't have. To do this, I wanted to use this use case for standard and plus the custom relationship. So what I'm trying to say is standard plus what is custom. I wanted to use the existing system, whatever the sales has been, the way we created today, we have some existing objects also with us because while we tried to create this org, we have a few clone copies of few applications been already present here, like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and few marketing stuff also we got it. So by default, we get this. Using this, what we can play with, so that it will be helpful for us to understand the Salesforce ecosystem plus what custom things we can build with. So that will be added points to you guys. So that's the reason I wanted to utilize the existing one so that we can, you guys would be really flexible because always when you get a project, will not be 100% take this as a custom application you want to build it. May not be. They would try to use the CRM components also maybe. So that's the reason I just wanted to connect with that, and then with plus you wanted to do some custom logic. It's still fine. Combination of doing this, you would be good at any stage. If I do only standard, you may not know about what is custom. If I do a complete custom, you may not know about what is standard is doing. So that's the reason I want to club this both. So that way, few all these default objects are available to us. So we have to utilize few of them. So that is what I'm assuming. And what you see as an account here is this account is the object which I wanted to rename it as a restaurant. Because if you say who is your head office, where it resides, anyway, restaurants, each and every McDonald's restaurants are a chain of business where one would be reporting, or maybe a parent restaurant from their couple of child restaurants are reporting it. So I name them as a restaurant, and all the employees would be part of restaurants, and customers would come to the restaurants. So this is how I'm treating it. Um, do you have any ideas on this? Are you okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe after starting, you guys may get to know. But what I'm trying to say at the very beginning, so we're gonna utilize the standard objects plus. So likewise, we
Uh,
have it. Yeah.
One question. So, if you are renaming account as McDonald's app or whatever it is,
No, no.
so
McDonald's not app. I'm just rename this account as my restaurant.
okay. So, if you are renaming a standard object to some customized object, then this standard object will not be visible again, or
No, no, no. We are using absolutely accounts only. So I'm just renaming the label of a account to a restaurant.
okay,
So
okay,
still in the program, you should write select name from account only. As a business, we need to understand account is nothing but a restaurant here.
okay, okay.
Getting? It's up to you. If you wanted to see, that is a type where we ask you, are you a customer? We ask you, are you a customer or you are a company? So when I say about a company now, each and every restaurant you are accountable, because every restaurant would generate some amount, right? Amount in the sense, I'm saying the fund, or a revenue basically. Today for this fiscal year, the five restaurants have been earned the great amount, and out of this is a top restaurant which is earned this much of amount. Now the employees of that particular restaurant should have incentives. So I'm talking in that level where a restaurant is nothing but an account here now.
Okay.
Everyone are generating an amount there. Now, who are the employees? If you think, okay, we can have a context there as an employees. That is one case. And who are the customers? Customers also could be an accounts. Customers also could be an account, like how we're talking today is a restaurant. They also could be an account, but um, but the cases where these guys can be dealt with uh, in terms of a sales, we have two types of an account. One is a business account, and one more is a in what is it, parent, what is it, person account. So let's understand these two things, then we'll just move on. So what is a person account and a business account? So business account, we know that a company has been tied up where who is the an agent who is trying to do a activity, or the owner of the company, whoever could be. Let's say for example Google or Microsoft. So these are a business account where for their company they can order, let's say 500 McDonald's, whatever the dish they have. From a company they're ordering it. Now they are not no, they are different from individual persons as a customers. Like you and me are the individual persons. We can walk in, we can buy out, and my information is all stored in my McDonald's. So the moment when I go, they may have a slighter discount on the offers which is running through, because maybe I'm an old customer, or I have a separate account where um, McDonald's some points I have, so I can redeem them. Look at this, I'm also a customer, right? So this type of individual customers where we treat in Salesforce as a person accounts, where they themselves they are owners. In terms of business account, a company is a owner. It's basically it's an entity, Under that, couple of employees would reporting to them. Guys, getting
Yeah.
now. So that way, if you wanted to do this an account, we can keep it as simple as same as an account, but we can create a record types. Record types in the sense account as a restaurant name, account as a business, account as the individual. So we
So I have a question. Can't we just create a new custom object for restaurants?
yeah, you can do it, but so what I'm trying to say is we wanted to utilize few of the existing scenarios.
Okay, okay,
So that was my main goal. Or else we could have done this.
okay. I mean, so that we'll get to know how to create a custom object like
Yeah,
from
we would create a
first.
custom object for sure. We would
Okay,
create a
okay,
custom object for sure, but ideally we are understanding. So you can't put a restaurant there and then associate an account. Um,
okay,
every restaurant itself is like accountable for something.
okay,
Or else, if I wanted to take this up a different approach, so then you have to give restaurant address and all the stuff you have to deal with.
okay.
Because I feel that the restaurant should be at the top level. To that restaurant, we are all been going with, correct?
Yeah.
So I would make a key points here to the restaurants. So what I would say is, restaurants are a type of um, so it is actually all our accounts here and under the accounts. So the moment when you try to create an account, so you're asking to the owner saying it is a are you creating a restaurant here? Okay. The first thing is they're asking restaurant do you want it to create or do you want it to create a business customer or you're asking to create a individual customer. So why I'm saying this is who are being called as individual customers who are as basically a person accounts. So you can be yourself, you could be a customer for McDonald's. Getting you whatever you order, you become a customer, right? So end of the day, you become your owner of your customer. So that's an ideal state, isn't it true? So if you're not working for any company, and then still you can own your SIM card, still you can own your own vehicle, and still you can have whatnot. You can have your own account of bank. All this we can do it, right? So this all indicates your individual accounts, or basically person account. Getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So likewise, if you try to order a food in any website, you are individually a customer firstly. Yes, of course, there could be a business scenario where a business also could involve into such activity. On what case? For every day, 500 people they have to serve food. So who is accountable? The company is accountable there. There's not an individual person is accountable there. In that case, it's a business customer. It's a business account, correct? And of course, why I'm trying to connect with accounts as a restaurant is because yes, we may have a multiple branches. We may have a multiple branches in terms of maybe from beginning from a parent account where I say as a parent restaurant and then they can have as many child whatever the hierarchy level as restaurants we can have. Let's say if I talk about India and India is again reporting to US, so as many countries, so we need to have a chain of restaurants, so all they from under frame under the hierarchies. So that's the reason I wanted to keep even the restaurant at the account level. Here this guy is accountable if he's buying something from a restaurant, he's accountable. He would help us to generate some revenue. If he's an individual, still he goes and orders only the limited amount of food what he want. Still he is accountable from his amount, whatever it is generating a revenue. And who is the owner now? Restaurants. Restaurants also individually they are generating their revenues based on the types they wanted it. Is getting?
Yeah.
So any questions here?
So you're saying we are creating three accounts under account object, three different accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Any questions so far?
No.
Look on.
See what happens is no something maybe it is too early. Each and every account they can have their own individual contacts. An account can be tied up with a contact. For example, if I say a business customer here, directly business customer, and I say Google, directly Google is not the one who is doing with. Maybe one of the Google contacts and employees would be dealing with that stuff to buy something of a regular basis of 500 meals. Okay? So that way, every account will have their respective contacts. When I say restaurant, restaurant is one who is the employees working under them. So they all would be the contacts. Business is the one, Google. There may be two, three people connected to this to get that every day. Maybe some operational head. So he's involved. So he's basically Google's employees contact. So he'll be under that contact. When I talk about individual customers, so they are the customers and they themselves they are the contacts. Getting person account is not so simple. So you should connect to Salesforce in order to enable the person account because generally the Salesforce system is for a huge one. They don't just like that they get into a person accounts. When you want to get into person accounts, yes, you have to enable your org. So your org would be restructured a little, saying that because account should tell you if you're a business account, I have a business account for you plus lot of contacts associated to you. That is one case. If I say individual account, where I call it as a person account, you yourself as a owner, yes, yourself as a contact. So there's no for you another child is there. But it's a business account, yes, of course. Google India, that's a company name, I think, business account. Under that, a company who the employee could be operational head, name some Srinivas, is a contact of that particular Google company. Now that particular contact is only ordering all the stuff. Ideally, who is accountable? Google company only is accountable. Is getting? I have to bill it on the Google India, correct? Not onto the operational head name. So that's the reason we need to have an account like this. By this way, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain you B2C scenario, B2B scenario. Where B2B is where a business is again connecting with another business, let's say restaurant. So that's a B2B. Where a restaurant is connecting with individual customers, there is a B2C. Getting? Where consumers or customers directly they're involved into a restaurant and they're buying it out and then moving on. As of course, whatever they bought is it's a revenue generation to a company for a restaurant. Okay. So that way we need not to rename the restaurant. So this is basically what I called as an account of type restaurant. Okay. Under this, I think I can have all of these options, opening hours, each and everything I can have. For a business customers, again, I can have their own informations. I don't have ranking number, restaurant name that these all things I don't have. I don't require also. I did the case for individual customers. So what is required for them, they will add it. Look at this for a restaurant. All these informations we need to have. This I'll ask you guys to create it. Few things like this. Okay. Anyways, no problem. So what I got to know is I will have access to accounts as restaurants. Now, who are the visitors? Very good questions. Who are the visitors? Basically, what they are the customers. Is getting
Yeah.
so that is what if you are an individual visitors who comes here and then you add it to some restaurant, so you become individual customers. If you are business customers, maybe I would tie it up to get this business customer associated to this restaurant. So ideally, what happens, you know, I know there's a business customer, but their contacts are related to the restaurants. I would not say the business. I would directly link this to these guys. I would assign their contacts to these restaurants. Let me tell you, business customer. Let's say name it as Google India. Fine. Now Google India's contact, who is let's say operational head, named as Srini. This guy is a contact actually. So this contact only I can associate to this restaurant. Make sense?
Okay.
And this contact related to which account is a business customer of Google. Now whenever this guy's orders, charge it onto the Google account. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute, guys. Hello. So based on this diagram, what I want to say is, yes, we have to rename this. Not rename. We will use this case as an restaurant of a type of an account. Now, let's come to our syllabus, and then now I'll match with that.
Hey, Khan.
Yeah.
General question: who gives us the schema? Are we supposed? I mean, if you are a Salesforce developer, are you responsible for creating the schema, or does it comes from the business and the BA or architect?
No. The schema, this design, it's everything is designed at the very beginning of a project.
Okay. So you'll just be given the schema, and they ask you to create objects and then all the relations and everything, right?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So I missed the point. Go ahead, Sandeep. What you were asking? You're talking about schemas, right? Who would create this schema, or what? How do we do it, or who is
Right.
involved into it?
Right.
Uh, to answer to that, so I told about right, like RFPs we have request for proposals. At that very
Mhm.
beginning moment, so use case would have been presented there. Based on the use case, a solution architect or a system architect would have been uh, put this design to them and showed this how the connections would be, and that's how they give a demo to the clients. Now,
Okay.
based on that, if that makes sense to them, so they would say that go proceed with this design. Of course, even the client should have the one of the technical members to be present part of the conversation. So because we and they understand, and then we start building the application. It's not something the client will have a zero knowledge. They also will have a technical team, so that teams will verify who has the capability of building this application. Because the way we present, they will get to know, and the schema if they like, and then that's how it's gonna work. So on approval of their decision only, we're gonna build that.
Okay.
So now if I say, hey, you have an account, go create a type of an account, and this is how this model is. Now, if this idea, if they like it, only then they will give an approved state for it, or else it is not going to go next. Get it?
Okay.
So that way, schemas and everything is already ready, and it has been presented to customers. They approved it. Now it comes to our development stage, where we try to start building onto the top of that. Now, which particular object, what are the fields, from where to where we should give a connection. All this BA will note it out, and then he will put into a user story. So from a user story, it has been assigned to individual like a developer or an admin to create such task and mark it as complete. Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is an ideal state. I think all we understand. Okay. Part of these applications, what I'm trying to say is, so we will create it. First thing is what is required. This is a very fresh org we created today, and what we need to think through. If it is a free developer, I don't know. We guys a lot of what do you say, lack of licenses we'll have. Um, but in general, if it is the purchase license that we have to think through how many number of users can log in and how many number of developers required, who are our target customers. So these are the pain kill points where business has to take ownership of it. Because I'm saying here it will be B2C. So I don't know. Um, if I talk about the consumers, I don't know who are the people should be. Getting? So you, me, and whoever goes to a McDonald's, all of the customers, everything, then I don't know. Users would be in a huge, right? So for that point, what we try to do is we try to create a community environment for B2C scenario. For a business to, it's fine. For a business to consumers, yes. For business to business also, yes. What to do is we create a community cloud. So where community has a little cheaper license than the system. It is same, but community where you'll have your own username, login, password, all you do. It's just like you go to a McDonald's website and then you do a registration, right? And then how you get inside and then order for the food. The same way it is. Community cloud can help you out in building such type of e-commerce or retail based systems. Okay, so we'll come to that point also. Now, understanding on sales or service directly with the customers, what you can do, and getting all these guys of consumers into a community cloud, what we can do. It's a secondary point. But I'll give a thought about what is community cloud, how do we log into the community cloud, and how that structure has been tied up to the Salesforce accounts. I will tell you in the later state. But we'll understand. Okay, we have restaurants, we have customers. How these guys are getting ordered for a particular food, and how they are ordering for a list of products which they own it. So we'll see all this stuff.
Okay, just for a clarification, so you're saying that rather than ordering, I mean, the business people, rather than they ordering directly into the McDonald's app, they have a community cloud where they can order from there.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, okay. Okay.
So unless you using the background system right away now, you being an admin using the background systems. Who are the
Yeah.
customers? They would be seeing a website there.
Okay. Okay.
Guys getting? So why we making
Yeah.
some background system is because we want to understand how the record structure has been created at the admin level, and we are seeing this system. And now, if you have a community cloud, yes, of course, you need to have your own website designed like a McDonald's. Who logged in? Who actually registers? Basically, they become a contact associated customers. In
Okay.
communities, whatever the new users who come in, so they are basically contacts we say. And who are the contacts? They are associated to accounts only. So ideally, again, it will come back to the business of what we're trying to talk here. Oh, where's
Okay.
the somewhere I draw? Yeah. Huh. So I was saying a Google contacts here, right? So this guy who is a operational head. So we have two types of portals where it is a partner portal and a customer portal in community cloud. So what is a partner portal? I'll tell you an example where a manufacturer, let's say a Tata Motors. Now, whoever is having an outlet, authorized dealers, so they become partner portal. They become partners. Why? Because they try to purchase the uh, whatever the Tata Motors material and items, whatever, and then keep it into the distributors list where you go basically to do a service of your vehicle or you want to buy a new vehicle, you go out, right? So that is basically an outlet or a basically we call them as a distributors of Tata Motors. Now, these guys who are distributors, they are tied up with Tata. Now, these both guys, what you know, they are basically business to business, they're dealing at B2B, where we are not involved there, where they're trying to order the new materials or something went wrong with the device, they are trying to order all the reported materials to Tata Motors. So now these type of applications, what you call as where they are have to have a community as partner portals. Let's say uh, ABC Tata Motors dealer. This guy is having outlet. He sells all the Tata Motors vehicles, cars, and stuff. Now he's having he's actually doing a service also, right? So four wheels are, or maybe the wheels which is having 500 orders you have to give it. Now where he goes and gives order, he can't give a phone call and say to Tata Motors and say, give, please send me 500. So he will have his own application where he will go to a Tata Motors and he'll log in, and then he will order the 500 wheels required for this and so dealer. So that 500 wheels will be sent from a Tata Motors to that particular dealer outlet. Now ordering something, connecting with all the products to their associated Tata Motors. So this type of connection is very called partner portal. Have more access to the applications where you look at more about the products, where you look at more about the other remaining steps, whatever you want. You are closely connected with the business, like say Tata Motors. That is one scenario. Now let's say customer portal. For a customer, what are the things basically visible to you? You need to show only this much to you. I don't show more access to you, or I don't show more level things to you, which is not required to you. For example, if you are the purchaser of a car of Tata Motors, so they say that, hey, you are owner of the car. Okay, now you are logged in. Okay, you have insurance, other information has been tracked there, and they don't allow you to order a material or order a parts. Getting, you're simply a customer who have been purchased a vehicle for so and so date, and it has been all tracking informations of your models and other stuff. That's all we have, because basically we are a customer. So they don't give you much access where you can go order the parts. Not maybe ordering a parts for a respective car is fine. Ordering a car for any other cars is not possible. So that is not acceptable. So that is the reason I'm saying in the community cloud also we have two types of portals. One is partner portal where partners are closely tied up with the business, and when we say a customer portal where customers requires the minimal information, may not be required more than that. This is another use case where you can talk about. So you bought a laptop. Even if you're on a laptop, you need to have your warranty, other stuffs to be represented. So what you do is if you buy a Mac laptop, so you go to Apple's website, you register for it, your unique Mac ID is all registered, your name is registered, then done. So basically your information is tracked in Mac. That's it. Now you become a customer of the Mac. This is one point where we have. If you are authorized dealer to sell only the Mac related laptops and Apple phones, something, then we become a dealer. So there, all these guys dealers will have their own access of an application to a partner portal where they name it as a partner portal, because these guys are ordering the parts from the original company manufacturers, and we are already brought it, and when just only simply we signed in to check, oh, this is my parts, okay, this is, sorry, this is my device, and this is having this one warranty period, and you can upload whatever the stuff that you want, like say iCloud, all these other things as connected to this. But this is not very similar to what we're saying about the partner portal. So those guys have been having orders of parts to the manufacturers, or they're um, having an accounting of how much so far they have ordered. All this basically accounting related stuff would they ever have it at a partner portal level. You guys getting what I'm trying to say? This type of scenario also can be brought up to the restaurants where who is the manufacturer. If you see, restaurants are the manufacturers, maybe not like in manufacturers, they are the food suppliers. From there, there could be dealers also who just buys and then keeps and keep another outlet. Basically, who is a dealer? If you say, if you are taking what the subsidy, they also become a dealers. That is what we can have. And from a subsidy also people can buy it out. That's another option. If McD is not giving a subsidy, they have their own chain of business, still fine. They are become hierarchical restaurants. Otherwise, if you see whoever you see a contacts here, all they are the people who log into customer portals. Now all the subsidy based owners, they will log into partner portals. So these are the two chains we have. Now I said about the end user level, but what we're developing here it is at the background level. Just getting? I don't know whether I'm audible or not.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, does it make sense to you guys, or it's boring?
No, it does make sense.
So, Jamsil, you there?
I'm trying to make sense.
Okay.
It kind of makes sense from the like you said, from the customer point of view and actual restaurant. That makes sense. But us being a developer, where should we focus on? We should know the both the ends, or we should only
No,
focus on the
you
back
could
end part.
get an application to develop either onto the see these are the different types of applications we get to develop. We get a project on community cloud, then you are dealing with the end users type of an applications.
Okay.
Then sometimes we wanted to build a service cloud application or a sales cloud application, then we are focusing on the background stuff.
Okay.
It depends on the project what we get. So all are connected here. I'm saying now, which I'm talking about is the end user project. Now this is the background idle where what do you call the actual source system where it is we are trying to build something there
Okay.
for a directly for a customer. Sorry, this application is directly for the client, not for the end users. So client is trying to use this application and wanted to verify how many are my business customers, how many are my individual customers, what is the revenue for this year. So this level we are talking about the background to a client for their own. Uh, Actually, this application directly for a manufacturers. You can see where I'm
Right.
talking
But
about scenario.
so the community cloud, what you spoke about, that is like the client is connecting to the cloud, community cloud, to talk to
Eh,
the actual restaurants or whatever
Yeah,
the community they want
directly
to.
they are the end users. Like think we are the end users. We are trying to connect through community cloud.
Okay.
It's just the website opened. I just went on, signed in. I ordered for a food. I will wait for a time that will be delivered to me. This is my end user case. But now I will track from a background. Okay, this guy is an individual users, individual customers who created a login. His name is so and so. Maybe um, some name is Radha. She just signed up and then she tried to order food. Done. We have delivered there. So at a background perspective, I know she is an individual user, individual customer who came in and ordered for this much amount, and to the respective restaurant, which is she was. The address basically based on the address we would try to match up to which restaurant she falls into, or which is the restaurant that has been delivered the items. Based on the circle that which she is falling under the nearer area, we will try to match up to the restaurant because somehow she has to give her pin code, somehow she has to give her address, which is the nearest restaurant we find, and from that restaurant only we will fire orders to her. Getting so that's how somehow it will connect to the nearest restaurant. We'll find the record to her and then we'll fetch it. Ideally, she will choose which restaurant she want to get it from, or
Right.
we would say that this is in your restaurant. We will say supply from you from here to there to you. It all you can decide. As an end user application, we will all show that these are the restaurants available to you at your nearest pin code. So those all you will see at end user application. Now to build a background system, uh, which category you fall under? You fall under individual. You fall under business. Now I'm trying to add a new restaurant. I need to create where. Yesterday it was at Hyderabad, a new restaurant being created. Today I'm trying to create a restaurant in Bangalore. So where do I add restaurants? So I should do it from the background, right? And the moment when I add these restaurants, these many restaurants, these all will be applicable in your website because these are different types of restaurant outlet has been added. So when you search, it will be nearest place, or you can filter by the restaurant name and then you can choose. So I am saying that from a background you're configuring this stuff.
I get the logic part, but I'm not getting the community cloud part. It's kind of vague for me. Where does that fit?
Right.
Com-
Can you explain us like what kinds of clouds we have and what's the differences between them? Because if you directly say community cloud, I'm trying to hard. I mean,
It's
trying hard to
difficult.
understand.
Like we don't even have we don't know what are different clouds. So you brought community cloud. So I'm kind of trying to picture where it fits here.
to this course, it not fits, but I'm saying as an end user where it fits. When I say about community cloud, yes, it is the different approach. We try to create a portal and we try to create a UI stuff and we say who has to log into what, all that we match. Now again, I have put a user sign up user option there. Um, so the moment you click on a sign up user, so you are going to fill out the information, and we treat that particular record as a contact, and I would associate that contact to these individual customers.
Till now, I have an idea. I mean, I was thinking Salesforce is nothing but where you can build, where you can use the existing applications, or maybe you can build custom applications by creating custom objects or using the existing objects and all the stuff. But when you say about the community cloud and the end user point of view, I'm totally confused now.
So you building an application, is it for whom? Who's the target audience?
Okay.
I mean, this is a question to me. I mean, asking to you guys. You're building an application to whom you're targeting it? To
Customers are
to the
who are
original owners of the manufacturers or to the end users? This is a very important questions we will ask at the very beginning.
To
Let's
the
say,
end users.
yeah, directly the people would say, my client would say that, hey, I've already existing application I have, which I manage my own system. This is I'm a manufacturer. I have all my existing system. Now I want to target my end users to showcase a few of the products which I have. If they buy, come online. If they buy, order for it. So that will be useful to me because I'm being a manufacturer. I only have outlet. If I do online business, it will be good for me. So then you are looking for end users, correct?
okay. I mean,
So
ultimately, every application is looking at targeting the end users, right?
no, an application which can work by your own employees, an application which can be worked by end users. Two different case we have. See, let's say for example, you have a bank account. You go to a banking, you just get into a bank. You are trying to create a new account. Getting new
Okay.
account in the sense you have to make use of the account. Let's say you have put in an amount. You are trying to um, just log in or online and then moving fund transfers, no depositing. It is all you're doing at the online. Now,
Okay.
whatever you're doing, deposit or maybe transferring the funds at online, I am saying that's a customer portal, community portal. Now, if you go directly walk into a banking outlet or a bank branch, now you have a fund amount with you in raw. You are giving to a depositor to deposit on your account. Now she is not having the same application what you are having. She is having different application. So that is where the company people, like say SBI Bank, they have their own application to deal all with you. So you went and you given a cash. So she will have her own application. She will search your name and the amount which you given, she will enter the amount and then save it. So that amount would reflect when you log in and check in your own account. Is it true?
Yeah.
Now this is two different applications, right? Where you as your login you're doing it signing up, sorry, you logged in giving username and password, you logged in, you checked, oh, okay, what is my balance, all shit you saw, your statements you can see, this is all absolutely for you. Now when a bank employee who logged in, her application is not equivalent to you, she has more access, she has more other informations, any xyz things.
Right.
Right.
Now this application which I'm explaining here right away is for the employee of that particular company would viewing it. Now, which I was talking about end user is a community cloud, which is where end users are viewing it. These are two different use cases I'm talking about. So why I brought this end users thing is because you guys would assume always this application directly for end users. It's not. It's for the employees of that particular company. Because you being a restaurant owner, so you are entering your restaurant information there, isn't it?
Right.
So ideally, I'm the employee of the company, so I'm entering a new restaurant. So I'm opening a new restaurant, so I'm just entering a data of new restaurant there, and I'm saying that okay, these are the new business customers which come in, maybe Google or someone, so they wanted to partner with us and they want every day they want 500 meals. So they don't they have to connect to the directly to the client, right? So they don't directly go to website and they register there, and in the website they don't order for 500 meals every day. You getting my point?
So
Let's say for example you are an end user, you
okay.
yourself is an end user, you just logged in, and as a login you did, you are trying to order your food and you saved it. Okay, you got the food. Now tell me for Google, if that is a company like a business account, they are having it, and every day they wanted for all their branches 500 meals, they have to send it across. Now anyone who would log in and then he keeps ordering for 500 meals for other orders to all the location, it's crazy, right? So where he can't do it, he can do, but why? Every day 500, how can he do it? So maybe for you, you logged in as an end user and you order for a food, you delivered it. To deliver for a customer, you think, for a
Right.
business,
So you're
for a business
saying,
thing.
so in that case, based on the customers, we will be having different page layouts.
Yes,
Okay.
different page layout and different UI screens for
Right.
you. So what I'm trying to say is, in that case, such type of an applications, I would give a partner access to Google, and I give a customer access to you. I know you are
So we
individual
will
user.
create, so in that case, we will create different profiles based on the customer
Exactly.
criteria. And then once you log in, and we will have a piece of code which which tells the application to display what content, I mean, to what content have to be displayed based on the login
Yeah.
user. Okay.
See, based on these existing background systems, we are constructing that layout which we called as customer community portal or a partner community portal. But this is the underlying background system. In my background system, I have more access to create new restaurants, or I will hold on. I can go from a background and I can create a new customer, hit the background. I can create a background, new business customers I can create. I can do all the stuff.
Okay.
This all happens in the background.
Right. I have a suggestion here, Kant. I'm not sure if other persons are okay. Rather than having the discussions, maybe we can just create or maybe make an initial layout so that we can understand what you're explaining here.
Yeah, that will be so better.
Because
I
Yeah.
mean,
No, no.
yeah,
This is something where I'm putting an idea where you fall under. If I just
right, right.
started to create also, you would think in a wrong way. So I'm saying that yes, there is an end user different type we have, and ideally original users for a direct to a company we have different application. Let's say what is called background system.
yeah, but when you're saying it theoretically, we are assuming how do you do it practically. So,
Mm,
I mean, I personally, I'm getting a little confused.
okay,
So, yeah.
So
so no
better we
problem.
will start create a project, and maybe visualization would help us to better
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, good. No problem. Suggestions are expected.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what I do is I will make a diagram to draw, and as being the original employees of the company, so what are they tend to see? If you are an end users, what you tend to see, how they are connected. So I'll make a simple representation, and end users things we are not working as of now. So we're working under the background systems, how we are connecting it, how we are connecting application of the background, and what are the key things that we will focus on. So I'll make a note on that. Would it make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
So I think in the next class we will have all this ready. And yes, of course, I will write a few stories that how we, um, in terms of when I wanted to build application using existing or whatever, how do we use it? So that I'll tell here.
Okay.
I'll mark it so that so you would get from the beginning from where we start bidding or we got the RFP and we got the project to the level of where applications how we're building it and what stories would be involved. Plus, if something an end user is there, how these guys would later stage we have to build an application for that. Even that I'll put a note.
Okay.
Okay.
And one quick question to two other people. So, are you looking for a crash course, or I mean, I'm talking to Jamsil and Sai.
Yeah.
I mean, are you looking for a crash course that has to be done very fast, quickly, or looking for like 45 days or 50 days course? Because my situation is different here, and I'm looking for a crash course because I need to get into the market. So, uh, it's taking quite a while because we